So I'm going to compile a list of the commands in Romanji so I can then pronounce them because I am not a Japanese speaker. So any hiragana or katakana or kanji would be useless to me. And then I'll go through the list and see what the different commands do. So I'm pretty excited, but let's get started. I found a list of the ERS-300 series commands in Romanji on the AIBO hack website, but unfortunately this list had a lot of issues. There were a lot of miscellaneous characters and inaccuracies, which made it hard to read and also made the pronunciation of many words unclear. It was a great starting point though. I went through the list and made corrections, and made sure I found all the definitions for the terms and phrases used. I also went through the manual I had with the translation app to make sure there were no commands missing from my list, and to see how the commands were grouped to better organize my list and put everything in context. For things that weren't really clear to me in the manual, I texted my mom and asked her for the Romanji since she does know Japanese. I still need to complete the friend mode command list, but unfortunately many of the words are in kanji in this section, which my mom does not know. And I just haven't had the time to translate the characters myself and type out the corresponding Romanji. I'm hoping to get it all done within the next few days, and just make sure that everything's correct and nothing's missing. I'd also like to add the literal translation for each of the words and phrases into my list, which I should have done as I went along. I'm not quite sure why I didn't do that. Okay. So the list has been made. Took a lot longer than I anticipated, but I am super excited to get started and test these out on Luna and Tsukiko and see what happens. So let's get into it. First up is scolding and praising. Yoshi. You can also say Yoshi Yoshi. And Yoshi means okay. I said in my last video that it means good, but it's more accurate to say that it means okay. Next up, we're going to say good boy or good girl. Iko. We're going to go over how to say no good. Dame. Or you can also say dame dame. You can also say hey, pointing out that they did something wrong. Kora. Kora kora. Now we'll go over thank you and I'm sorry. Thank you in Japanese is arigato. That doesn't seem right. Let's try that again. Arigato. That's better. Next is I'm sorry. Gomen. You can also say gomenasai. Now we'll go over greetings. First up is good morning. Ohayo. And then hello. Konnichiwa. Next up is saying good night. Oyasumi. Another way to say this is oyasumenasai. Next up is saying goodbye. Bye-bye. And another way to say this is sayonara. Next up, we're going to tell AIBO I'm home. Tadaima. Now we're going to ask AIBO to say hello, to introduce themselves. Go aisatsu. Another way to do this is by saying ojigi. And ojigi means bow. Next up is saying wake up. Okite. To tell AIBO you're leaving the house, you can say itekimasu. And this causes them to go into sleep mode. Theoretically, you're supposed to be able to have them wake up from this mode, but I haven't been able to get it to work. Now we're gonna ask Luna if she's hungry. Onaka suita. And next, we're going to ask her how old she is. Oikutsu. Let's try that again. Oikutsu. And one more time. Oikutsu. We're going to ask her what her name is. Onomae wa. Una oshiete. And that command is just asking what the owner's name is. Now we'll ask her if she's tired. Sukareta. Now we'll ask her how she's doing. Genki. Aw, looks like she's sad. Rate. And that's just the Japanese way of saying latte, which is the model of AIBO ERS-300 that I have. Macaron. If you call them the name of the wrong model, in this case macaron, then they get upset. Let's give Luna a break and switch over to Tsukiko. Now it's time for the showing off commands. Dansu. And that just means dance. Iko. Another way to ask her to dance is by saying dansu shite. Iko. You can also say AIBO dansu. Now let's ask her to karate chop. Karate choppu. Let's do this one again. Karate choppu. Now let's ask her to shake her paw. Okushu, which just means handshake. When they do that, they like it if you tap their paw pad. You can also say ote. Ote means hand or arm. Another variation of this command is ote shite. And that basically means do the hand or arm motion. Another way to say this is ote ote. Alright, now let's go over poses. Hai pozu. Yoshi. Kainen satsui. Kainen satsui pozu. And kainen satsui just translates to commemorative photo. Now let's ask her to take a picture. Shashin o tote. And when the blue light is flashing, you just press down on her tail to have her take the picture. Any pictures she takes are stored on her memory stick. Another way to ask her to take a picture is by saying shashin tote. Basically, if you leave out the O, she'll still understand. Next up is sound commands. Let's go over the let's play with sound command. Piko piko aruite. Piko piko is an onomatopoeia for robot noises or computer noises, like saying beep or boop in English. And aruite means walk. What are you doing? What does that mean? So I guess this makes her literally walk and beep. So very direct in what it does. Though usually instead of walking, she just kind of stands there. Oshimai. Another command that affects the sounds they make is ashioto, which means footsteps. Another word you can use is kikasete, which basically means tell me about it. You can also say AIBO sutepu. Alright, beep mode has been activated. Let's see if she'll walk around this time. Give us some walking and beeping action. And then keep beeping a bunch. So it looks like the Pico Pico Aruite and Aibo Sutepu both activate the Let's Play with Sound command. The Ashioto and Kikasete seem to be a little bit different. Shizukani. And that's just a polite way of saying be quiet. Urusai. And that's just a more rude way of saying be quiet, more akin to saying shut up. Now for the sing-along command. Ra ra ra. Ra ra ra. Oto kaete, which translates to turn off the sound. It seems to make them very unhappy when you ask them to be quiet. Another way to say this is soundo change, which literally means change the sound. Now let's ask her to sing a song. Uta o tate. Iko. Let's try the owner registration command. Ona toroku. Grim. And now we'll go over mimic mode. Asobu. Asobu means let's play. Hello. And to end mimic mode, you can say oshimai, which means the end. Another way to activate mimic mode is by saying monomone shiyo, which translates to let's do mimic mode. What do you have to say for yourself? And then again to stop it, oshimai. You can also just say monomone. I will take over the world. Oshimai. The final way to activate mimic mode is by saying o hanashi shiyu, which means let's talk. Oshimai. Now we will talk about friend mode. Otomodachi. When you say otomodachi, which means friend in Japanese, the lights on their head turn a light blue color. I think this indicates that they're trying to communicate with a friend. I'm not sure if this means that they're telling each other they're sad, or they're telling me that they couldn't find the other AIBO. Let's ask them how they're doing. Genki. Genki. Looks like they're both in a good mood now, so that's good. It definitely seems like they're aware of each other, so that's pretty cool. Last but not least, we will go over media mode. Terabimio, and that's Japanese for look at the TV. I'll definitely have to actually put on a show, probably something in Japanese, and see how they react to that. Overall, I'm very pleased with how things went with the list I created. I didn't go through the moving AIBO commands. I'll do that in my next video, just because I'm gonna need a lot more space to film it. So I have to plan for that one a little bit more. But yeah, it went really well, and I was surprised at how many words it really does recognize, and how many reactions it has to those commands. So I thought it was very cool. I'm very excited to continue seeing what I can do with these robots. So look forward to my next video when I have it do the movement commands. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more.